Hello, this is Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger with another California report. This week we took some big action to strengthen our safety of our communities and our people. Now, I've always said that public safety is my number one priority. We've done a lot of things in the last 7 years. For instance, we passed Jessica's Law and Chelsea's Law to protect our kids from sexual predators. And we passed Proposition 69 to expand our DNA capability. We enhanced victims' rights. We strengthened Megan's Law and protected 3 strikes. And in 2007, we approved monumental prison reform known as AB 900. You see, when I came into office, our prison system was in a crisis. Just as our state had neglected our levees and freeways and water infrastructure, it had also neglected our prisons. We didn't build any more prisons. You see, when the state stopped building new prisons in the mid-90s, our prison population was at 130,000. When I took office in 2003, it was up already to 174,000, an increase of 44,000 in just 8 years. Inmates were double and triple bunked. That made our recidivism rate rise. And it was a vicious cycle. Some said that the answer was to weaken the 3 strikes or to release tens of thousands of criminals early. Well, not on my watch. I said we must do 2 things in order to address this overcrowding crisis. 1, we must increase capacity with more beds, which means we have to build more prisons. And 2, we must reduce the number of inmates, not by early release, but by reducing recidivism. And in 2007, we brought Democrats and Republicans together and got those reforms done. AB 900 will add 53,000 new beds, the most in a generation. And on Wednesday, I was at the Adelanda jail for a groundbreaking ceremony that will add 1,400 beds to that facility. And that is in addition to the facility in Stockton that will add 1,700 beds. We are also in the process of approving new re-entry facilities to prepare inmates for life after prison. And we have moved 10,000 inmates out of state, which has freed up space for desperately needed rehabilitation programs. These reforms are laying the foundation for a stable and just correction system, one that works for all Californians, regardless if you live inside the prison walls or outside the prison walls. And this week, I'm very happy also to announce that on Friday, for instance, I was in Los Angeles to announce new CalGRIP funding. See, that is a very important program. We launched that program in 2007, and the reason is because we wanted to start a program to tackle gang violence. We beefed up patrols in high-risk areas. For the first time in history, we now have 1,000 gang members on GPS bracelets. And we also invested in prevention by awarding $50 million in grants to give at-risk kids an education and the job training that they need. And this week I announced an additional $9 million in grants for 24 cities. And because of our work and because of the work of our brave men and women in uniform, we have reduced gang-related homicide now by 30% in the last 3 years. So I'm very happy that everyone is working together. The community leaders, the communities, law enforcement, the state, the locals, everyone is working together here. Because by working together, we are taking back our streets and protecting the people of California. So thank you for watching and thank you for listening.